I've had a few people asking me what is going on at Mercedes. For good reason. Mercedes keeps on changing their minds on their electrification strategy. Their latest strategy, well, it's very, very different to what they were saying they would do 1 year ago. Hello, my friends. You're watching The Electric Viking. Welcome to the channel. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Fantastic to have so many new subscribers. I think in the last month there's been about 20,000 new subscribers coming over to the channel. Now, I know a lot of you have come over from Sandy Munro's channel. If you haven't, make sure you check out Sandy Munro's channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. Now, Mercedes has an interesting statement about their move to electrifying vehicles in their fleet, about their plans for the next 10 years on their website. That was posted in August. Now, there's a whole lot of marketing jargon there, a bit of nonsense about Mercedes making some kind of extraordinary claims. Some of it's good though, but that has since changed. Since August, Mercedes has changed their mind again. They're now deciding to invest even more money. Now, initially in August, they were saying they're going to invest about 44 billion US dollars over the next 9 years into their electrification strategy. So that's a lot of money, right? Well, now they have changed that figure to 68 billion between 2022 and 2026. So in only 4 years, or maybe you could say 5 years, they're going to invest 68 billion US dollars into their electrification strategy. Now, they made some other interesting claims about their vehicles being able to do double the range in about 2027, 2028. And I'll tell you why they claim their vehicles will be able to do that in just a second. Now, the company wants to be at the forefront of electric vehicle production and in software, Daimler said in a statement on Thursday. Now, apparently they're saying that as of the last 24 hours, they are the first company to be endorsed by a government for being able to use level 3 autonomous driving on roads. So now in Germany, Mercedes new vehicles, new EQS, will be able to drive hands-free, and that's been endorsed by the German government for level 3 autonomous driving. That's a step in the right direction towards having fully autonomous cars. So doing really well in that area. Now, existing plans from last year, announced in October of 2020, to reduce capital expenditure by 20% from 2019 levels by 2025 remain in place, with new spending instead on focusing on electrification, digitalization, and autonomous driving. Mercedes is basically saying, yep, the age of ICE is over. They say that on their website. I'm not actually being in any way exaggeratory here. They're saying the age of ICE is over. They're not going to invest any more in ICE vehicles. Basically, if you want to buy an ICE vehicle from Mercedes, they're just going to use essentially the tech they have now. Now, Mercedes plans to increase net revenue per vehicle. In other words, increase their gross margins per vehicle. Obviously, they want to get to what Tesla's doing, where they're making a 30% margin on their vehicles. Mercedes margins are around about 10%. So obviously there's definitely some scope there from them to increase their margins. And they want to also implement a direct sales model as part of this strategy. Get rid of a lot of their dealers, I think. That's going to happen. If you're a Mercedes dealer, yeah, it could be time to consider another business. Now, they also said adding that advances in battery technology and production should help reduce the cost of battery electric vehicles over time. Strange, isn't it? Stellantis just came out and said kind of the opposite thing, where they're saying they can't really compete in terms of selling affordable electric cars. Very strange that the CEO of Stellantis is saying something very different to what a lot of other companies are saying. I made a video about that, by the way. I'll put a link in the description below about that video. Our goal is technological leadership in the automotive luxury segment and in the area of premium vans while remaining committed to our ambitious margin targets, Daimler CEO Ola Källenius said in a statement. Now, Mercedes didn't give a breakdown of its spending, exactly where that money's going, but the plan includes some of the 40 billion euros already committed to electrify the Mercedes product range during this decade and part of a pledge to go electric only where possible. They're being a little bit vague about this. They're making these comments saying they're going to go electric only where markets allow for that to happen. What exactly that means, I don't know. It seems as though they're saying, well, if one market doesn't want electric cars, then we'll keep on making petrol cars for that market. That's my take on that statement. Now, Mercedes plans to launch 3 new all-electric vehicle platforms in 2025 and to set up eight battery factories with partners, the company said in a strategy update back in July. So what about Mercedes' claims that their electric vehicles will go up to 50% further? Well, Martin Bigg from carbuzz.com reports that Mercedes' new battery tech puts them on top. Is this true? No, it's not. I'll explain why. It's no secret that solid-state batteries will revolutionize the car industry. Well, yeah, I don't agree with that. I think they'll revolutionize the top end of the car industry, not so much the average car that you and I would buy, that most people would buy. I think lithium iron phosphate batteries are the battery technology that will revolutionize the majority of the car industry. And for the top premium luxury vehicles, yes, solid-state vehicles will eventually revolutionize that part of the industry. So what will they do? Well, they'll provide improved safety, faster charging, and longer ranges. And that's true, but we're a long way away from that still at the moment. Now, I made a video about what's going on in the solid-state battery industry, some of the biggest players. By the way, most of them are in one country. Very interesting. I'll put a link in the description below to that video. You should check that one out. Now, solid-state batteries are more complicated and expensive to develop than lithium-ion batteries, which is why they aren't in mass production yet. They have to be affordable, right? Now, to speed up the development of solid-state batteries, Hyundai and Kia recently teamed up with Factorial Energy, a solid-state battery cell developer in the United States. Now, Nissan also announced this week it will start selling cars with solid-state batteries by 2028. They're making an assumption there. That's a big assumption. Nissan don't really know when that's going to happen. They just hope that it'll happen by 2028. Do I think it will? Potentially, but not in affordable cars. Now, Mercedes and Stellantis are joining forces with Factorial Energy as well. The technology must be fairly promising for so many car makers to get into the same company. By accelerating our Mercedes-Benz strategy towards electric only, we have set the course for a fully electric future, says member of the board of management, Marcus Schaefer. We will also play a leading role in the field of battery technology. With Factorial as our new partner, we are taking research and development in the field of promising solid-state batteries to the next level. To this end, we are investing a high double-digit million-dollar amount in Factorial. Well, Mercedes seems to be making some interesting claims here. I don't think they stack up. Let's be honest, they don't, because they're saying that they're going to stand above everyone else and their batteries are going to give longer range. Honestly, look, they're one of a number of companies investing in Factorial. Are Factorial going to say, all right, Mercedes, you can have the solid-state battery tech, and the other guys that have invested in our company, Kia, Hyundai, etc., can't have it? No, they're not. It's going to go to all of these companies once this technology is mass marketable. So realistically, how much of an advantage will Mercedes have over their current competitors like Hyundai and Kia? Well, none that I can see whatsoever. Of course, when it comes to technology, clearly they're doing very well there. That's a different game. When it comes to their level 3 autonomous driving, seriously, Mercedes are doing much better there than anyone expected they would be. With this cooperation, we combine Mercedes-Benz's expertise in battery development and vehicle integration with the comprehensive know-how of our partner Factorial in the field of solid-state batteries. We share the common vision of CO2 neutrality. The continuous development of innovative battery technologies will make electric mobility even more attractive for our customers. Now, Mercedes will start testing prototype solid-state battery cells next year before implementing the technology in a limited number of vehicles as part of a small series by 2026. Stellantis also aims to introduce solid-state battery technology within its cars within the next 5 years. Obviously, all these companies are betting on Factorial cracking the code essentially within the next 5 years. So right now, the Mercedes EQS offers an EPA estimated range of 350 miles. Models with Factorial Energy's revolutionary solid-state batteries will offer up to 50% longer ranges per charge compared to lithium-ion battery technology. But that's comparing it against today's current energy density. So whether or not these solid-state batteries will actually have a longer range than the energy density that the market has achieved en masse by 2026, nobody actually knows. It's actually possible they won't. So the reality is, these car companies betting on this solid-state technology, including Mercedes, it is a gamble. We really don't know where the industry will be by 2026 and beyond. For example, lithium iron phosphate batteries have a low energy density, but that energy density has improved by 10 to 20%, depending on the battery manufacturer within the last 12 months alone. Now, Mercedes actually say on their website that they believe we have reached a tipping point, and they cite Norway as an example for what will happen across all of Europe, saying, well, Norway's essentially hit that tipping point a number of years ago, and as we all can see now, Norway has now hit about 94% of sales each month as electric cars only. In other words, ICE has completely died in Norway, and it won't be long before the same thing happens across Europe. In other words, Mercedes is to some degree panicking a little bit. Thus, they're investing, 68 billion euros over the next 4 years. I think that shows you just how serious Mercedes is now about electric cars. Is it too little too late? Well, hard to say. Depends on when they can get battery supply for their vehicles. Depends on how long this process goes for them in terms of them replacing their current vehicles they make with battery-powered vehicles. Now, Mercedes says, I quote, their new strategy represents a supercharging of the company's battery vehicle plans, purely electric vehicle plans, they're saying, with plug-in hybrid and full electric vehicles to account for 50% of global sales by 2025, up from the previous 25% target. So if Mercedes is aiming for 50% of all their fleet to be electrified by 2025, then, well, we can only guess at this point what they're aiming for in 2030 because they haven't officially said, but I'd say they're going for a minimum of 80%. Does this mean Mercedes will survive? Well, I think there's a pretty damn good chance they will. When I made a video, I think it was about 4 to 5 months ago, and talking about Mercedes going bankrupt, well, they had not changed their strategy at that point in time. Their plans were very different to what they are now. Based on their current strategy, I believe Mercedes will definitely survive past 2030 and potentially take sales from companies like even Toyota and Honda and other automakers who've decided that electrification is something that they like to talk about, but not really do. The EV shift is picking up speed, especially in the luxury segment where Mercedes-Benz belongs, said Ola, the CEO of Daimler AG and Mercedes-Benz. The tipping point is getting closer, and we will be ready as markets switch to electric only by the end of the decade. Well, I think that gives you a pretty good idea of where Mercedes is going. Thanks for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you again on the next one. Bye-bye.